in these counties, and I know and I can name a few, some extremely respected people, some who have served for a very long time in national government and they have retired back home. They have no interest in making money, but they are making a contribution to their county. They are given this position. Mr. Speaker, some governors who have foresight have actually even picked professors. I know of 2 professors who served as CECs in some of the coastal counties, Mr. Speaker. Not that they didn't have good jobs where they were, not that they couldn't raise good money wherever they were working, but they want to make a contribution to their counties and to the development of the spirit of devolution. So, Mr. Speaker, you can imagine a very good civil servant who maybe served as a PS or a director whose contract came to an end after 3 years at the national government. He's then taken to serve as a CEC. A professor who is a lecturer at the university, Mr. Speaker, he's tapped to come and serve as a CEC. And then such a respected professional, Mr. Speaker, is then treated like an extension, a lackey, a person of no consequence within the administration of a county, Mr. Speaker, is unfortunate. So, Mr. Speaker, my prayer is that we have started well by giving this office some protection, some good protection, but we must also create further protection from the side of governors. We are creating a good protection for the CECs from the side of county assembly from this law. But as we write this law, we must also think of creating protection for effective management of counties or from the side of governors. So, Mr. Speaker, I really want to support this. I believe it is on the right side of the history of devolution that for the first time we have focused on CECs. And Mr. Speaker, my prayer is that we will actually write a full law on how CECs should be protected, how they are going to carry out their functions, how, Mr. Speaker, they can make a solid contribution to the management of counties and to the spirit of devolution. Mr. Speaker, with those many remarks, I beg to support. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, there being no other senator who is seeking to contribute to the bill, I'll call upon the mover, Senator Chergei, to reply.
Mr. Speaker, sir, thank you very much. I'll make it precise and brief by thanking colleagues, Mr. Speaker, sir, who have contributed, and I'm happy this bill has received the necessary input and comments from members. I want to assure them any way of improving on this bill is welcome, ideas, enriching it, and even amending it for the betterment. I think the ultimate goal and the standard is that, Mr. Speaker, sir, excuse me, is to ensure that we enrich, widen, and deepen devolution, and flourish devolution, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, sir, I thank colleagues led by Senator Mohammed Abbas, the chairperson of devolution, for also saying that this should ensure stability in our counties and ensure our professionals are protected. As Senator Mungatana has said, you have tapped a senior person who only should subject them into unpredictability. And also, Senator Abbas has been challenged as the chair of devolution and committee to come up with omnibus review of the County Governments Act, because from 2013, way back after 2010 Constitution, Mr. Speaker, I think it is important we do stock taking or stock of the entire bill in terms of devolution. And Mr. Speaker, I want to suggest, as Senator Cheruyat has said, that we don't only do county governments review, we do the entire of devolution laws. I think more than 10 years, we can notice how it works, Mr. Speaker, and review. I also, Senator Manso, to thank Senator Manso, I agree with him that we should not allow, because sometimes it perpetuates political witch hunt. If the threshold of impeachment of CC county executive members is low, that one can be a ground for political witch hunt, Mr. Speaker. And I agree with him, Senator Cheruiyot. I think he has proposed that the threshold is okay, and I think he has proposed that we need to ensure, Mr. Speaker, the review on the entire devolution laws. Senator Otsotsi, thousands, and it's also we should need to strike a balance. I agree to thank Senator Otsotsi and Senator Gloria Orwoba. We need to enhance impeachment proceedings, transition. I agree and welcome those ideas. Senator Faki is in full support. Senator Seki, stability of the county. Senator Wambua, Deputy Minority Leader, assessment of the impeachment procedure role, I agree. And if the majority whip taps long, I think any member can pick it up so that we have decency, Mr. Speaker. Senator Karungo Tango has given his personal testament because he's one of the people. Today, Mr. Speaker, we were lucky that we had a specimen or a testimony of somebody who has gone through an impeachment in a county assembly. And those who are insightful comments, he's also the sponsor of impeachment procedure bill. I want to assure him when he comes on board, it will be, we'll support him. Senator Kavindu Mudhama, he has said we must strike to protect both primary oversight of MCS and also to ensure primary oversight is maintained. And then it says we have a mirror-like law, Mr. Speaker, where the national legislation should reflect other issues, Mr. Speaker. Senator Chuto, of course, I agree with the fight corruption. And MCS welfare, Mr. Speaker, you are aware I'm the biggest champion, and I'm happy the President has directed that we need to review and relook at the welfare of MCS, not only their personal salary and emoluments, Mr. Speaker, but also on other aspects, Mr. Speaker, the welfare, the mileage allowance, the use of vehicles, Mr. Speaker. I think he has even used one of the words that is 2 days to go through it. The Speaker, a ward like Kiliboni ward in Nandi is one of the largest. When you go to Kemelai Maraba, Soba Songo, one of the biggest, and therefore you can imagine the type of the car or even the payment. And you know, Mr. Speaker, under labor laws, when MCA started, it was around 140 to 200 in 2013, but now it's 80,000 basic salary, Mr. Speaker. While the speakers of county assembly, the CCM are earning over 450,000, Mr. Speaker. The governors are earning 1.1 something million, Mr. Speaker. In the principle of a third, in fact, the MCA should be earning in the principle the way we earn, Mr. Speaker, because the president and the deputy earn, and then around 1.2, Mr. Speaker, or thereabout, and us we are earning around 500, Mr. Speaker. It should be basis of either half of what the governor is earning, so that it gives value to MCAs. And I'm happy the issue of MCAs has received the necessary attention. We must protect the MCAs, because, Mr. Speaker, even if we give powers to MCAs and they are not well-resourced or well-fed, in terms of even the chambers they use, the systems they use. And I want to thank your office, Mr. Speaker, because every time a county assembly team comes, your office and your secretariat is always at hand to build capacity, both of members of county assembly and their secretariat at county assemblies across the nation. Mr. Speaker, therefore, MCAs form a very critical and pivotal role in terms of protecting devolution in this republic, Mr. Speaker. And therefore, I will continue championing along other colleagues that we must protect the MCAs, we must give them the whole resource, and I hope SRC, Council or County Assembly Forum, the Council of Governors, and Mr. Speaker, AMCA, led by my brother, the SG, the MCA from Naivasha, who is leading in the AMCA, Association of Members of County Assembly, should fast track. Mwalimu, the MCA from Naivasha in Nakuru County. Mr. Speaker, so therefore I agree on the aspect of Senator Shiengo Betty. Thank you very much. Given me accolades, Mr. Speaker. I wish her well, Mr. Speaker, as she pursues her pursuit of becoming the woman rep of Kitui County, Mr. Speaker, and he has insisted. Mr. Speaker, of course, you was truly the famous. You know, Mr. Speaker, before I joined Parliament, I used to admire how fiery and a firebrand Mlamwamba, Senator Danson Mbuya Mgatana used to articulate at the floor of the House when it was still a National Assembly. and it is an honor to serve him in the same chambers, Mr. Speaker. His wisdom is always valued, and I agree with him that he has said that we need to protect these professionals. We cannot create CCM to be a graveyard of of careers, Mr. Speaker. You cannot go and headhunt somebody who used to lead as CEO of a bank, give him a CCM and then subject him to unpredictability. Yet that person comes with a wealth of experience. So Senator Danson Mungatana, I agree in totality that we must have stability in devolution. Our interest, by the way, the fact that we oversight governance does not mean we don't like devolution, because we know if devolution works today, Mr. Speaker, no one will care who is the president of Kenya. Because if devolution works, you will have water. For example, you had the other day, Garissa is only less than 1 kilometer, Garissa County, but they don't have water. River Tana, where Senator Danson Mangata, they don't have water. I saw Garissa Water Company saying the people of Garissa should harvest water because the rains might come to an end, Mr. Speaker. If those people have water, no one will care about who becomes the president. Mr. Speaker, if those people have bursary, they have drugs in hospital, they have good roads, Mr. Speaker. Like in Nandi, there are all roads in 30 wards are virtually impassable, Mr. Speaker. And I think our governor has resigned technically because he's no longer in office, he's doing nothing, it is raining, the roads are impassable, Mr. Speaker. And I want to, Mr. Speaker, even advise our people, especially with the landslide and many rains, to be careful. So, for example, in Nandi, even the rats are walking around in hospitals, in Kapsabet County Referral Hospital. You go, Mr. Speaker, to the town market, they are in Kapsabet town. There is no water in main town market. Women are just sitting. It is very dirty. There is no working toilets. There is no electricity. There is no, if it rains, those women continue to suffer. Not only in Kapsabet town markets, but most of the town markets from Maraba, Kabiet, all over Chepterwai, Mosoria, they are just sitting in the sun, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, I agree and call upon. And even, for example, also Garissa, Mr. Speaker, you can see they are still paying 11 people who are retired and should not be paid at, but Mr. Speaker. So we need oversight. So I'm calling upon the MCS, Mr. Speaker, even as we assist them to do their primary oversight. We want to see the MCS of Bomet doing their job. We want to see the MCS of Meru doing their job. It doesn't mean, Mr. Speaker, when we give them opportunity, Mr. Speaker, they don't take the necessary action to ensure they do their job. Let them all govern us by, I almost used a very unpalatable word, but let them all govern us by what should be accounted for, Mr. Speaker, going into the future. Mr. Speaker, in conclusion, I want to thank many members, of course, on a small matter that I brought before you and the House. I'm bringing a comprehensive statement, Mr. Speaker. I think I have said, and I want to repeat, we are the apex of democracy. They say in equity, the principles of equity, Mr. Speaker, they say who comes to equity must come with clean hands. We do not have moral authority to oversight governors, to oversight national executive, to oversight judiciary and other independent institutions, if we cannot question and oversight ourselves, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, if there is something wrong within management of parliament, no one should gag us, Mr. Speaker. Unless there is a gagging order that has been issued, Mr. Speaker. I raised that ordinarily, Mr. Speaker, and I know you have attended our session at Senate Public Accounts, before an ECD in somewhere in Sigor, I know Sigor, Mr. Speaker, is famous in other things. Before an ECD in Sigor, in Bomet, is completed, when your governor appears before the Senate, one of the questions we ask him is that this ECD1 classroom, does it have certificate of occupation? The governors normally produce pictures and certificate of occupation. If you are building a building somewhere in Kablel Artet, somewhere there, Mr. Speaker, you must produce evidence of the same. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, I want to say this in conclusion. The fact that Bunge Towers, most members, Mr. Speaker, don't have offices. They have offices, they are sharing it, Mr. Speaker, which is okay. We don't have a problem with it. But the point we are trying to do is follow the law. We are the lawmakers. So if today we ask the Parliamentary Service Commission, give us a certificate of occupation, why is it that if today, Mr. Speaker, a minister comes and they are building an institute, when we are cross-examining a minister here or questioning him, we ask him, where is the certificate of occupation from public house? They don't have a problem. Then why is it when it comes to us as a parliament, We don't want to produce, we want to break the law. And I was asking about certificate of occupation, certificate of completion, pending works, Mr. Speaker, ensuring also public health. How safe are they, Mr. Speaker? And I said yesterday, some offices don't have windows. And those windows, if you don't see sun for some time, Mr. Speaker, you can get jaundice. I think if I'm right in biology, Mr. Speaker. Even yesterday, members got stuck in the lift for better time of the hours because the lift, you wait for more than 15 hours. So what is ultramodern about it, Mr. Speaker? Mr. Speaker, I want to call even my brother, Majority Leader Senator Cheruya, told me to use gym. But I've gone to that gym, there is no exit. In fact, it has not been allowed to use at the moment, Mr. Speaker. So let us be honest as a parliament with ourselves. And even the little matter of money. Mr. Speaker, when this idea was conceived, it was 5.6 billion. It has now gone beyond 9 billion, Mr. Speaker. For example, we ask our governors here, Nandi, governor, we gave you 7.5 billion. What did you do it? The governors are ready to account. But when we ask ourselves, they don't want to account, Mr. Speaker. And let me give you a comparison so that members can understand in conclusion. Mr. Speaker, you see Central Bank Kenya Towers. That building is 27-story here in the CBD. It was built with 2.5 billion. This one has been inflated from 5.2 billion to more than 9 billion. 4 billion to 4 to 5 billion or 4 billion thereabout cannot be accounted. Those are 3 or 2 mega buildings of 2.5 billion each that can be built within the CBD of the Republic of Kenya, Mr. Speaker. So we must also, as we say we want to sort the issue of renting offices for members, we must also show due diligence and account for money that we give out, Mr. Speaker. And if this one will force some of us to appear before Powers and Privilege Committee, so be it, so that we can know. And Mr. Speaker, we need also to protect our staff. We don't want members of Secretariat and members of staff in Parliament to live under fear. Mr. Speaker, under Article 34 and 35, it talks about media freedom and freedom of information. Why would you interdict 2 officers who allowed media to do a tour of a public office unless you are telling the country Bunge Towers is a private property? Then put a big sign so that it will not even be accessible by public, but as a public office. Media have a right to access, look at it, and share with the nation, Mr. Speaker. So I hope those members, before we resume next week, the 2 interdicted staff, Mr. Speaker, the interdiction should be withdrawn, Mr. Speaker. Immediately they should allow to report back to the office, to their offices, Mr. Speaker. And they should not be victimized, because some of us understand the labor laws. That is what I wanted to say, Mr. Speaker, so that as we go into the future, so I'll not be intimidated, will not be coward, Mr. Speaker. We shall continue, Mr. Speaker, to ensure that we call for accountability, sobriety, Mr. Speaker. I want to confirm to the nation, because of the reservations I have against opening, because of the reservations, Mr. Speaker, I have for the opening of the Bunge Towers offices, I will keep off to retain my sobriety, Mr. Speaker, and to retain my integrity. I want to assure the nation I will not show up because I have reservations. And when we ask questions, Mr. Speaker, we were told you cannot question. If you question, you will appear before Powers and Privilege. Mr. Speaker, I said before, there was one man called Uhuru Kenyatta. He was a former president. There was a powerful interior minister who used to arrest me every Friday, used to intimidate me. So the era of intimidation, blackmail, and coercion, their prices in this country has gone down. So, Speaker, I will be enjoying myself and discharging my duty because you will release us today. So, Speaker, I know I can even come to Bomet and enjoy the football match, which is wonderful that you are prepared under Wakili football match somewhere in Silibwet Stadium or Bomet Green Stadium on tomorrow. I can start enjoying from Friday, Saturday, the final day, Mr. Speaker, in support of what you are doing to empower the youth talents in Bomet County as their senator, Mr. Speaker. So we have so many places we can go. So no one should blackmail us or intimidate us. Let members be allowed to express their reservations. We understand there is need for office space, but that one does not give a ground to break the law. Mr. Speaker, with those many remarks, I want to thank my colleagues and request, Mr. Speaker, that in pursuance to Standing Order 66.3 of the Senate Standing Orders, I request that you defer the putting of question on this motion to a later date when we have good numbers to go for division. Without many remarks, Mr. Speaker, allow me to rest my submission, and thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity, and wish all of us a blessed weekend, a safe weekend, Mr. Speaker, as Kenyans, wherever they are. As I'm told there is going to be heavy rains during this weekend, Mr. Speaker, to be careful in our roads, in our farms. Don't cross a river, Mr. Speaker, that you think there is flash floods. I know there was an incident in Chiamase where I come from, Mr. Speaker. Please, I ask Kenyans, even here in the city, let us be careful as the flash raids continue. Even the young people who are going for a luta, Mr. Speaker, as you do your TikTok movies, TikTok filters, make sure you are safe wherever you are. And don't take too much. You know, the water does not know you. So as you go a luta or any other issues you do in the city, be careful wherever you are. Otherwise, Mr. Speaker, thank you and God bless you.
Thank you, Senator Cherargei, and pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 66.3, the question as regards the bill is not put today until the next sitting of the House. Now, Honorable Senators, owing to the earlier rearrangement of the order paper, order number 9, order number 10, and order number 11 were deferred for the next sitting owing to the numbers in the House. Order number 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 19 and 20 are hereby deferred because the sponsors are not in the chamber. And with that, honorable members, I'll ask that we rise. Honorable Senators, there being no other business on the order paper, the Senate stands adjourned until Tuesday, 23rd of April, 2024 at 2:30 p.m.
الدولة الفلسطينية وفي سياق الهدم التدريجي الذي يطال أركانها وركائزها الأساسية. وقد شهد العالم أجمع منذ ماض يعد بأشهر قلائل كيف لوح مسؤول إسرائيلي من على منبر الجمعية العامة بخارطة للشرق الأوسط، خارطة رسمت حسب أوهامه وأهوائه، خارطة لم يكن فيها لفلسطين أي أثر أو أي بصمة، بل حتى التصعيدات التي تحاول أو يحاول الاحتلال الإسرائيلي حاليا إذكاء فتيلها على أكثر من جبهة ووجهة في المنطقة.
April 24th to receive submissions and deliberate on the bill. The committee has further scheduled a public hearing on the bill in early May, following which we shall finalize on the committee report for table. Under statements, Honorable Speaker, the committee considered 4 statements during the reporting period. These are the statements sought by Senator Hamida Kibwana on gender-based violence, incidences in the political space in Kenya, statement sought by Senator Mohamed Chute MP on the status of court construction projects in the Republic of Kenya, statement sought by Senator Tabitha Mutinda MP on the assault of a female passenger by a matatu conductor along Thika Road, and lastly, statement sought by Senator Edwin Sifuna MP on the predicament of Master Austin Karanja, a minor hearing impairment who was mauled by school dogs on 28th of October 2023 at the Isinya School for the Deaf. The committee concluded consideration of the first statement. In the case of the other three, we have invited written responses and scheduled meetings in the coming weeks to interrogate the responses received from the concerned line ministries and agencies. For Speaker, under the petitions, the committee presently is considering two petitions, namely petition by MS Christine Njoki concerning incomplete investigations and failure to arrest and prosecute suspects involved in the abduction and disappearance of Mr. Joshua Shuki Mwangi, and petition by Poor Network Awareness concerning implementation of an award by the Environmental and Land Court for compensation and land resettlement. Mr. Speaker, the committee is scheduled to meet the respective petitioners and other stakeholders in the coming weeks, following which it will prepare its report for tabling before the House. Implementation of the recommendation contained in the report for the National Dialogue Committee, that is NADCO, and the Multi-Sectoral Working Group on the implementation of the two-thirds gender principle. Mr. Speaker, following the communication from your desk that you issued on the 5th of March 2024, the Standing Committee on Justice, Legal Affairs and Human Rights was held several meetings with our counterparts from the National Assembly on the implementation of the recommendations contained in the NADCO and MSWG reports. To this end, Mr. Speaker, 6 of the bills sponsored under the NADCO report have since been published and are at various stages of consideration. The bills are the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 10 of 2024, the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 11 of 2024, the Election Offences Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 9 of 2024, the Statutory Instruments Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 10 of 2024, the Elections Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 11 of 2024, and lastly, the Political Parties Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 13 of 2024. The first 2 bills, Mr. Speaker, were introduced in the National Assembly, and we expect that they will be referred to the Senate in the coming weeks, while the other 4 bills were read a first time in the Senate yesterday and committed to our committee for consideration. Additionally, Mr. Speaker, we are deliberating on the framework for implementation of the proposals to amend the Constitution as contained in the NADCO and MSWG reports, including matters relating to elections, the establishment of state offices and special funds, and implementation of the two-thirds gender principle in Parliament. Mr. Speaker, in fact, as you speak right now, there is an ongoing joint meeting between the JLAC of the National Assembly and the Senate for purposes of considering public participation on the IEBC draft bill. Mr. Speaker, I want to assure this House and indeed all Kenyans that this is an assignment that we take very seriously. We shall in the coming weeks be tabling our joint report in the 2 houses, proposing the framework for implementation of the resolutions and recommendations contained in the NADCO and MSWG reports. On other activities by the committee, Mr. Speaker, during the period under reference, the committee further hosted and held deliberations with a visiting delegation of Murang'a County Assembly Committee on Governance, Labor, Justice and Legal Affairs, and also held engagements with various stakeholders during consideration of legislative business before the committee. In conclusion, Mr. Speaker, I wish to thank your office for the support accorded to the committee in undertaking its work. I also wish to acknowledge the Secretariat that supported the committee and has received from the Office of the Clerk immense support. Lastly, I wish to commend the members of Justice, Legal Affairs and Human Rights Committee who have been very diligent in executing the work of the committee. Mr. Speaker, I thank you.
The Chairperson, Standing Committee on Labor and Welfare.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 56-1B of the Senate Standing Orders to make a statement relating to the activities of the Standing Committee on Labor, Social Welfare for the period commencing 1st January 2024 to date. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Senate Standing Committee on Labor and Social Welfare is established under Standing Order 228.3 of the Senate Standing Orders and is mandated to consider all matters related to manpower and human resources planning, pension, gender, culture, social welfare, youth, national youth service, children's welfare, national heritage, betting, lottery, sports, public entertainment, public communities, and recreation. Honorable Speaker, during the period under the review, the committee held a total of 15 sittings, during which it considered 41 statements and 1 bill. The committee did not consider petition during this period, as it concluded and tabled reports on all the 6 petitions committed to the committee in the second session. Honorable Speaker, 29 statements were ongoing from the previous reporting period, and 12 statements were sought from the committee during the current period. The committee considered and concluded 4 of them and is currently considering the remaining ones. In considering the said statement, the committee considered the statement through physical sitting with stakeholders and the respective senators who made the request. While in other instances, the committee admitted written submissions and shared the response with the respective senators. Honorable Speaker, the committee received a response of the statement sought by Senator Samson Chelgai, MP, on the implementation of the report on a petition on alleged fraud by First Choice Recruitment and Consultants Agents Limited, and shared it with the senator. This is a matter that the committee is still actively pursuing. Honorable Speaker, the committee is currently sending out reminder letters on its pending statements and has scheduled meetings on some of them as follows. A, on Thursday, 25th April 2024, the committee will meet with the Teacher Service Commission and the management of the Kenya National Union of Special Needs Education teachers on the statement sought by Senator Christo Asige, MP, regarding the registration of teachers with disabilities by KUSNET. On Tuesday, 30th April 2024, the committee will meet with the National Treasury on the statements regarding the payment of one-off honorarium to former councillors by the Senator Enoch Wambua, MP, and the statement regarding the delayed payment of the Kenya Railways pensions by Senator Bwaruma Jones, MP. On Thursday, 2nd May 2024, the committee will meet with the management of the National Fund for the Disabled of Kenya on the legal structure and operations of the fund. And on Thursday, 7th, 2024, the committee will meet with the Ministry of Youth Affairs, Creative Economy and Sports on the various statements before the committees. Honorable Speaker, the committee has considered the following proposals and recommended them for publication. 1, the Labor Relations Amendment Bill 2024 by Senator Eddie Okech, MP, the Labor Relations Amendment Bill 2024 by Senator Miraj Abdurrahman, MP, and the Sports Amendment Bill 2024 by Senator Professor Tom Ojeda, MP, and Senator Rafael Chimera, MP. On bills, Honorable Speaker, during this reporting period, the committee considered the Gambling Control Bill, National Bills number 70 of 2023, and tabled reports on the bill. The committee also considered the Public Service Values and Principles Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bills number 46 of 2022, and tabled its report on the same. Honorable Speaker, the committee is scheduled to hold various stakeholder engagements with its stakeholders, including the Ministry of Public Service, Performance and Delivery Management, State Department of Gender, the State Department of Social Protection, and National Council of Persons with Disabilities on various issues at its mandate. Mr. Speaker, sir, in conclusion, I wish to thank your office and the office of the Clerk of the Senate for the continuous support accorded to the committee in undertaking its work. Lastly, I wish to thank the members of the committee for their commitment and diligence in and contributions during the committee's activities. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
The Chairperson, Standing Committee on Agriculture.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 56(1)B of the Senate Standing Orders to make a statement related to the activities of the Standing Committee on Agriculture, Livestock and Fisheries during the first part of land session, that is January to April 2024. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Senate Standing Committee on Agriculture, Livestock and Fisheries established under Standing Order 2228(3), the Senate Standing Orders, and is mandated to consider all matters relating to agriculture, irrigation, livestock, fisheries development, and veterinary services. During the period under review, the committee held a total of 27 sittings, during which it considered 3 bills, 20 statements, 2 public petitions, and tabled 1 report. Honorable Speaker, during the period under review, the committee did not consider any legislative proposal bills. Honorable Speaker, during the period under review, the committee considered the following 2 bills. A, the Sugar Bill 2022, National Assembly Bill number 34 of 2118 of the Constitution and Standing Order 145.5 of the Senate Standing Orders through a public and advert request written memoranda. The committee received submissions from the Council of Governors, Nature Kenya, and the Royal Society of Kenya. The committee will conduct public participation on the bill in various counties from 2nd to 13 May 2024. C, Rice Bill 2023, Senate Bill number 19 of 2023. The Rice Bill 2023, Senate Bill number 19 of 2023 was read a first time on 4th May 2023. The facilitated public participation pursuant to the provision of Article 118 of the Constitution and Standing Order 45 of the Senate Standing Orders through a public and advert requesting written memoranda. The committee will conduct public participation on the bill in rice-growing counties and thereafter table its report. Statements. Mr. Speaker, sir, during the period under review, 20 statements were sought from the committee. The committee has concluded 9 statements, having received responses which were shared with the requesting senator who are satisfied with the responses. The statements are: A, statement on provision of agricultural extension service in Kisumu County by Senator Professor Tom Ojeda MP. B, statement on the state of coffee industry in Kisumu County by Senator Professor Tom Ojeda MP. C, statement on delaying payment to enumerators and village elders engaged in data correction for the farmers registration exercise in Nyandarua County by Senator John Medho MP. D, statement on the statement on promotion of fish farming in Kisumu County requested by Senator Professor Tom Ojeda. E, statement on the distribution of maize dryers to farmers by Senator Alan Chesang MP. F, statement on alleged shortage of certified seed supply to farmers by Senator Alexander Munyumundigi MP. G, statement on the state of the livestock sector in Kenya by Senator Bas Sheikh MP. H, statement on subsidization of farm input by the government by Senator Alan Chesang MP. And I, statement on the shortage of suitable fertilizer and seed varieties for farmers in Bungoma County by Senator David Wakoli MP. Response shared with Senator, but yet to state if satisfied or not. Mr. Speaker, sir, the following 9 statements are yet to be responded to by the Minister of Agriculture, Minister of Water, Sanitation and Irrigation, and Governor from Kakamega County. A, statement on safeguarding the stability of the agriculture sector by Senator Julius Murgo, MP. Statement on the Stone Government Irrigation Project in Embu County by Senator Alexander Munyumundigi. C, statement on the planned importation of sugar by Senator Edwin Sifuna, MP. D, statement on the non-implementation of the presidential order on the establishment of the National Livestock Development and Promotion Service by Senator Abbas Sheikh, MP. E, statement on the failure to compensate farmers in Embu County by Senator Alexander Munyumundigi, MP. F, statement on distribution of subsidized fertilizer to farmers in the North Rift and other parts of the county by Senator Samson Cheragei, MP. G, statement on the purchase of cereals by National Cereals Board and Produce Board from the farmers in Embu by County Senator Alexander Munyumundigi. H, statement on the distribution of fake fertilizer to farmers in Kakamega County and various parts of the county by Senator Dr. Bon Harwara, MP. And I, statement on the completion of Isiolo Export Abattoir by Senator Fatuma Nduro, CBS, MP. Mr. Speaker, sir, the following two statements have been exported and shared with the senators, but the senators are not satisfied. A statement on the vaccine production and distribution at the Kenya Veterinary Production Institute by Senator Mohamed Chute MP, and B, statement on existence of artificial insemination AI goat center in Haiti Ndomba in Kirinyaga County by Senator Mohamed Chute MP. The committee will hold a meeting with Kenya Veterinary Production Institute to conclude and address the question raised in the statement. Petitions. Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee considered two petitions. A, petition on the Ethics and Corruption Commission EACC graft investigation on the West Kano irrigation scheme, and B, petition on the catastrophic maize disease that farmers in Bomet County have endured for the last 12 years. On the petition regarding the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission EACC graft investigation on the West Kano irrigation scheme, the committee has met with the petitioner, Chairperson Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, then Governor Kisumu County, and the leadership of the West Kano Scheme Cooperative Society, who had been adversely mentioned. The committee considered the submission from the Kenya National Trading Corporation, KNTC, and the National Irrigation Authority, and resolved to invite the stakeholders involved to another meeting scheduled for 23rd April 2024. Mr. Speaker, sir, on the petition regarding the catastrophic maize disease that farmers in Bomet have endured for the last 12 years, the committee has met with the petitioner and will invite the stakeholders on 30th April 2024, and thereafter visit Bomet and Nandi counties. Stakeholders engagement. Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee attended a high-level parliamentary meeting on enhancing agri-food system transformation on 1st to 2nd February 2024, and the workshop on agriculture produces and other market-related levies on 22nd and 23rd March 2024. Inquiry. Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee is conducting an inquiry into the distribution of fake fertilizer in various parts of the county. The members of the committee watched an expo titled The Fertile Inception by the African Incessant. Following this, the committee resolved to visit depots in various counties and also met with the affected farmers from these counties. The committee thereafter met with the Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Agriculture and Livestock Development, National Cereals and Produce Board, Kenya National Trading Corporation, and Sirka Booster Innovate Manufacturer Limited. The committee will this Friday, that is tomorrow, April, meet with Kenya Bureau of Standards, Kell Chemicals, MEMS Distributor Limited, and all the companies supplying the fertilizer and the National Government Fertilizer Subsidy Program, and thereafter table its report. Mr. Speaker, in conclusion, I wish to thank your office and that of the clerk of the Senate for the continuous support according to the committee in undertaking its work. Lastly, I also wish to thank the members of the committee for their commitment and diligence in the contribution during the committee activity. Thank you very much. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Signed by Senator James Kamau Murango, Chairperson Standing Committee on Agriculture, Livestock and Fisheries.
Chairperson Standing Committee on Health. Vice Senator Mandago. I thought I saw Senator Mandago in the House. I'm here. Proceed, Senator.
Honorable Speaker, statement relating to the activities of the Standing Committee of Health from 13 February 2024 to 28 March 2024, pursuant to Standing Order number 56-1B of the Senate Standing Orders. Honorable Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order number 56-1B of the Senate Standing Orders to make a statement relating to the activities of the Standing Committee on Health during the Part 1 of the third session of the 13th Parliament. Honorable Speaker, the Standing Committee on Health is established under Standing Order 223 of the Senate Standing Orders and is mandated to consider all matters relating to the medical services, public health, and sanitation. During the period under review, the committee held 16 sittings, during which it considered one bill, one inquiry, undertook one county visit, and held one stakeholder engagement. On the bills, Honorable Speaker, during the period under review, the Cancer Prevention and Control Amendment number 2 Bill of the National Assembly Bills number 45 of 2022 was committed to the committee on Thursday, 28 March 2024. The committee awaits memoranda submissions for consideration and intends to lay its report thereafter. Honorable Speaker, the committee concluded on the following bills, and the reports are undergoing approval process for tabling by Tuesday, 23rd April 2024. The Community Health Services Bill, Senate Bills number 4 of 2023. The Maternal, Newborn and Child Bill 2023, Senate Bills number 17 of 2023. and the e-health bill, Senate Bill number 32 of 2023. On petitions, Honorable Speaker, the committee has concluded its consideration of the petition by Kenyatta University medical students on the engagement and use of Kenyatta University Teaching and Referral and Research Hospital, KUTTRH, by medical students at Kenyatta University. A report on this has been compiled and is awaiting adoption by the committee. On the statements, Honorable Speaker, during the period under review, the committee considered and sought responses on the following 10 statements as follows. Statement by Senator Amida Kibwana, MP, on the circumstances that led to the amputation of baby Jennifer Mwasi's hand at West Hospital in Taita Taveta County. Statement by Senator Amida Kibwana, MP, on the absence of data bank for unclaimed bodies in Kenya. Statement by Senator Joe Nyotu, MP, on the state of medical equipment supplied by Mecascope to level 5 hospitals across the country. Statement by Senator Fatuma Dulo, MP, on the operational state of the Isiolo County Referral Hospital morgue. Statement by Senator David Wakoli, MP, on the assessment of policy on the availability and supply of medical oxygen in Kenya. Statement by Senator Gloria Oropa, MP, on the inadequate bed capacity at Mbagathi and Mama Lucy hospitals in Nairobi City County. Statement by Senator Kadhuri Murungi, MP, on the delayed remittances of funds by the defunct National Hospital Insurance Fund to health facilities. Statement by Senator George Mbugua, MP, on the expected impact of trained and experienced nurses seeking jobs abroad on nursing services in hospitals countrywide. Statement by Senator Joseph Kamau Kiduku, MP, on the poor state of health care in Lamu County. And statement by Senator Miraj Abdulrahman, MP, on the healthcare provision to teenage and adolescent mothers in public healthcare facilities. The statements are pending consideration by the committee. Correspondences on the pending statements have been forwarded to the relevant stakeholders and are awaiting response. Honorable Speaker, on inquiries, during the period under review, the committee finalized its inquiry into alleged irregularities in the procurement of long-lasting insecticide nets at the Kenya Medical Supplies Authority, KEMSA. A report on this has been compiled and is waiting adoption by the committee. Honorable Speaker, further to the above, the committee has resolved to open inquiries into the following topical issues during this session. Inquiry into the access and provision of oxygen in emergency care facilities in the country. Inquiry into the circumstances that led to the amputation of baby Yasir Ridwan's fingers at Kerukoya County Referral Hospital. Inquiry into the death of Wakili Masharia JM at Muranga Level 4 Hospital. An inquiry into the pending bills and fraudulent claims at the National Hospital Insurance Fund. Inquiry into the exchequer funding for the delivery of community health services by non-state actors. Honorable Speaker, on stakeholder engagements and workshops, during the period under review, the committee, in collaboration with the Senate Liaison Office, held one stakeholder engagement with Westminster Foundation for Democracy, a United Kingdom public body dedicated to supporting democracy around the world and working with parliaments, political parties, and civil society groups to help make countries' political systems fairer, more inclusive, accountable, and transparent. In its quest to implement post-legislative scrutiny as monitoring and evaluation tool on health-related laws, not only on national laws, but also county laws, with particular focus on the Health Act 2017. Honorable Speaker, on county visits, ordinarily committees execute the bulk of their work in committee rooms within the presence of Parliament. However, occasions do arise when it is necessary to augment the evidence gathered within the presence with site visits. The site visits, apart from providing first-hand evidence, do avail the opportunity for intensive oversight and extended public participation. Accordingly, during the second session, the committee undertook inspection and familiarization visits to 7 counties, including Kisii, Nyamira, Bomet, West Pokot, Trans Nzoia, and Turkana County. Honorable Speaker, the reports of the said visits have been compiled and are awaiting adoption by the committee. The committee further commits to undertake additional visits of all the remaining counties during the third and fourth sessions. Moreover, on Monday, 25th March 2024, the committee undertook an inspection and familiarization visit to Nairobi City County, arising from the statement sought by fellow honorable members and the general outcry of deplorable state of healthcare services in certain health facilities in Nairobi County. The committee intends to undertake another visit to Nairobi City County, and thereafter will present its findings to the House. In conclusion, Honorable Speaker, I wish to thank your office for the support accorded to the committee in undertaking its work, the office of the clerk. I also wish to acknowledge the support of the honorable members of the committee and this House for the support. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Statements pursuant to Standing Order 52, the Honorable Munyahaji Faki.
Asante Mheshimiwa Spika, nimesimama kuambatana na kifungu cha 52(1) cha kanuni za kudumu za Bunge la Senate kutoa taarifa kuhusiana na hali ngumu ya kazi na unyanyasaji wa wafanyikazi wa Export Processing Zones, yani EPZ. Mheshimiwa Spika, nimesimama kwa mujibu wa kanuni za kudumu ya 52(1) kutoa kauli kuhusu jambo linalohusu kaunti nzima kuhusiana na hali ngumu za kazi na kunyanyaswa kwa wafanyakazi wa Export Processing Zones, hususan wafanyakazi wa kampuni ya Ashton Apparels mjini Mombasa. Mheshimiwa Spika, kuna mashirika mengi ambayo yamefungua biashara ya nguo ili kusafirisha kwenda masoko ya Marekani kupitia kwa mpango wa AGOA, ambao ni sera maalum ya serikali ya Marekani inayochukua bidhaa kutoka nchi za Kiafrika. Lakini fursa hii imekuwa ni sababu ya baadhi ya mashirika yanayofaidi kutokana na mpango huu kukandamiza haki za wafanyakazi, hivyo basi kuhujumu sekta hii ambayo inatoa ajira kwa Wakenya wengi. Mheshimiwa Spika, kumekuwa na visa tele vya ukandamizaji wa haki za wafanyakazi mikononi mwa mashirika hayo kama ifuatavyo. Kwanza, kuzuiliwa kwa wafanyakazi kujiunga na chama cha kutetea haki zao na kupelekea waliojiunga na vyama hivyo kupoteza kazi zao. Pili, Mheshimiwa Spika, hujuma za kijinsia ambazo kina dada wanalazimishwa kushiriki tendo la ngono na waajiri au wasimamizi wa kampuni ili kupata ajira. Tatu, kufanyishwa kazi kwa muda mrefu bila ya kupewa barua za uajiri, Mheshimiwa Spika. Nne, ubaguzi wa ukabila ambapo jamii moja pekee ndio inafanya kazi katika kitengo kimoja au kitengo maalum kwa kampuni hiyo. Mheshimiwa Spika, ya tano, kufanyishwa kazi kwa muda mrefu katika mazingira duni yenye msongamano na vumbi kupelekea afya za wafanyakazi kuwepo hatarini na kupata magonjwa. Mheshimiwa Spika, mishahara duni inayolipwa na mashirika hayo pia ni basi kunyanyasa Wakenya, na pia hali tete iliyopo katika mashirika hayo ambapo wafanyakazi hawajui hatima ya siku ya baadaye. Mheshimiwa Spika, majuzi wafanyakazi wa kampuni ya Ashton Apparels iliyoko katika eneo bunge la Changamwe mjini Mombasa walifanya mgomo kutetea haki yao ya kujiunga na chama cha wafanyakazi. Wafanyakazi hao, Mheshimiwa Spika, walitumuliwa na maafisa wa polisi wakisaidiwa na naibu kamishna wa kata ndogo ya Changamwe bila ya kuwa na kosa lolote. Licha ya viongozi wa Mombasa, Mheshimiwa Spika, kuingilia swala hilo, shirika limekataa kukubaliana na wafanyakazi na hivyo basi kupelekea wafanyakazi 2000 kusimamishwa kazi. Mheshimiwa Spika, serikali ya Marekani inazingatia kwa makini haki za wafanyakazi, na iwapo swala hili halitatatuliwa kwa haraka, Kenya iko hatarini kupoteza fursa hii ya mpango wa AGOA ambao ni muhimu vile vile kwa uchumi wa taifa. Tayari Mheshimiwa Spika, nchi kadhaa za bara Asia zimepoteza fursa hii kwa sababu ya kutozingatia haki za wafanyakazi. Hili swala, Mheshimiwa Spika, ni zito ambalo linapendekeza kamati ya kudumu ya leba na ustawi wa jamii ifuatilie ili wafanyakazi wasidhulumiwe. Asante Mheshimiwa Spika.
Statement pursuant to Standing Order 53(1), Honorable Karen Nyamu.
I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53(1) to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Roads, Transportation and Housing regarding the traffic congestions in Nairobi City and its environs. In the statement, the committee should state the major causes of traffic congestion in Nairobi City County and its environs, highlighting the roles played by the public service vehicles, private motorists, and other classes of vehicles in increasing the congestion. Report on initiatives undertaken by both the national and county governments to alleviate the traffic congestion in the city, considering the negative impact of traffic jams on productivity and the economy. provide an update on the progress of the implementation of the Bus Rapid Transit System, the BRT project, including the total project expenditure to date, the contracted companies responsible for the project execution, and the projected timelines for completion and handing over for
Yo guys, how you feeling? I hope you all
outline any measures
good.
implemented by the government to increase availability of parking spaces within the Nairobi City County. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Statement pursuant to Standing Order 57-1, the Majority Leader.
My apologies, Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order number 57-1 to hereby present the business of the Senate for the week commencing 23rd of April 2024. Before I present this statement, allow me to use this opportunity to welcome colleague senators back from the short recess period. I believe that we have some time to meet our constituents, spend time with our families and friends, rejuvenated over both the Easter and Ramadan holidays, and are now ready to work for the people of Kenya. Mr. Speaker, sir, at the close of the first part of the third session, 36 bills were pending conclusion in the Senate. Over the last 2 days, 5 other bills were read a first time, and in addition to the one in the order paper today, 42 bills will be pending before the Senate. Out of these bills, 10 bills have been scheduled at order number 8 to 18 in today's order paper. From the foregoing, we have regular sittings with our in-tray already full. Let us redouble our efforts collectively and individually, whether in the committee or in plenary, to ensure that the business before the Senate is dispensed with expeditiously. Mr. Speaker, sir, with respect to other businesses before the Senate, 15 motions are pending conclusion, while 24 petitions are pending before the respective standing committees. Additionally, 336 statements are pending before the respective standing committees, and I urge committees to responsible for the petitions to and statements to expeditiously conclude these matters. Mr. Speaker, sir, I can see the Deputy Minority Whip and the Majority Whip. I think he has stepped out, but he was here. I want to urge the officers of the whips to assist us next week, because this week we have not succeeded to carry out any delegation needing votes due to quorum hitches. Therefore, I want to humbly request or direct, not request, Mr. Speaker, Senator Sifuna, yes, and Senator Boni Halwale to do their best to ensure that this Senate lives up to its billing, Madam Speaker.
Senator
Mr. Speaker,
that was in good faith, honestly.
Proceed,
Majority Leader.
I don't want to make another positive comment on Senator Sifuna because I'm not sure whether he will understand or he will challenge me again, Mr. Speaker. At its meeting held on Tuesday, 16th April 2024, the Senate Business Committee approved the summary of the questions at the Cabinet Secretary to appear as follows. Question number 25, the CS for Gender, Culture, Arts and Heritage by Senator James Murango on the establishment of public libraries in 47 counties. Question number 37, to the CS for Foreign Affairs by Senator Dr. Boni Halwale on the welfare of Kenyans working in the Gulf states. Question number 40, to the CS for Foreign Affairs by Senator Ojenda on the obligations of Government of Kenya to Kenyans in the diaspora who faced. In conclusion, Mr. Speaker, I take this opportunity to appreciate all honorable senators for the vigor and display at the start of the second part of the session and to end part of the session. I thank you and do hereby lay the statement on the table of the Senate today, Thursday, the 18th of April, 2024. I thank you.
Next order.
Order number 8, the Land Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bills number 40 of 2022, first reading. A bill for an act of parliament to amend the Land Act, Cap 280.
Now, honorable senators, you will allow me to rearrange the sequence of today's order paper. We will proceed to order number 13. Dispense with that before we resume the natural flow of today's order paper. Clerk, proceed to call that order, please.
Order number 13, the Gambling Control Bill, National Assembly Bills number 70 of 2023.
At the interruption of debate, Senator Danson Mungatana had the floor and he had a balance of 13 minutes. He's not in the House, so we will proceed. Senator Asige Crystal.
Thank you very much, Speaker, though I had pressed the microphone to give comment on the statements just read.
Senator Oroba. Senator Onyonka. All right, then. I will call upon the mover to reply.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.